video is sponsored by VIPSCDKey.com. VIPSCDKey is a marketplace website where you can purchase game keys and software keys with no hassle. VIPSCDKey offers a legit Windows 10 Pro key for only $21. But to make it more awesome, they will be giving another 20% discount. Just type our coupon code XTNC to get it for only $15. If you're in the Philippines, purchasing is very easy. You can use PayPal, PayMaya, or GCash. Visit VIPSCDKey.com now. I'll put the link in the video description below. From the most expensive options to the more budget-friendly ones, unti-unti nang lumalabas yung mga lower-tier variant ng RTX 40 series graphics cards ni Nvidia. And of course, isa si MSI sa mga maglalabas ng version nila. So today, we're checking out the new MSI GeForce RTX 4070 Gaming X Trio 12G. So a quick glimpse at the box contents of the Gaming X Trio variant. We have the graphics card itself, a quick user guide, a 16-pin 12B high power to 2x 8-pin PCIe power adapter, and an anti-sag bracket. Mostly, the RTX 4070 of course features the new Ada Lovelace architecture with 3rd generation RT cores and 4th generation Tensor cores. Has 12GB of GDDR6X video memory with 192-bit memory bus, 5888 CUDA cores units, and a 200-watt TDP. Though this may differ depending on the card's design. Pwedeng tumaas. In this variant, MSI rates it at 215 watts. And the recommended power supply for this is at least 650 watt and above. Although on our testing, the graphics card power consumption stayed at around 200 watts, while the entire system peaked at around 380 watts from the wall. Boost clocks naman of the base RTX 4070 is only up to 2480 MHz. But the MSI Gaming X Trio here is rated up to 2610 MHz, since it's factory overclocked by default. On our testing, actually umabot pa yung boost clock niya up to 2850 MHz. So that's really nice to see. I even manually overclock it with 150 MHz core clock boost and gain around 4 to 5 FPS on F122. Taking a look at the card itself, we have a 2.5 slot design including the cooling solution, which only weighs 1.2 kilograms. So medyo manipis yung card compared to its higher-end counterparts like RTX 4080, which are mostly over 3 PCIe slots. So isa pa sa nagustuhan ko dito, yung power connector niya, they made a cutout and nakapaloob yung connector doon so that hindi na siya nakaprotrude or tatama sa side panel, which is a nice touch. Then meron din monochrome color scheme on both the metal backplate and on the fan shroud side, which features some cool RGB lighting in the center and on the MSI logo, all with Mystic Light support. For connectivity options, we have 3 DisplayPort 1.4a and 1 HDMI 2.1. There's also custom PCB with hardened circuits and optimized trace routing, as well as TR-MOS power stage solutions for enhanced voltage controls and great efficiency. Sa cooling solution, we have the MSI's Tri-Frozer 3 thermal design, where the heatsink has copper base plate and core heat pipes that make maximum contact with the GPU die before spreading the heat sa heatsink. Airflow control, which guides the air to exactly where it needs to be. As you can see at the backplate, we have a big gaping hole for the hot air to escape. Torx fan 5.0 for the triple fan design along with a double bearing for longer durability. And then there's Zero Frozer feature, which is simply the fans turning off when temperatures are low enough to eliminate all noise. And in terms of software features, we have the AV1 decode and encode, as well as DLSS 3. So without further ado, let's move on to the benchmarks. So here we have the RTX 4070 paired against the RTX 4070 Ti as well as the RTX 3070, so that we can see if there's any significant or measurable performance uplift from the last generation. In 1440p, we can see na yung RTX 4070 natin obviously has a performance increase from the RTX 3070, around 20 to 40 FPS in most games except sa Spider-Man Remastered, where we only saw minimal increase. And in 4K naman, we can already see an increase of 10 to 30 FPS in most games. Against the RTX 4070 Ti naman, there's not much in terms of difference when it comes to performance since most games do have around 10 to 30 FPS lang, both in 1440p and 4K resolutions. Almost the same story then when we enable ray tracing, even with DLSS. Hindi nagkakalayo between these 3 cards. Then on the synthetic benchmarks naman, dito natin makikita na may significant performance increase between these 3 cards, especially in Blender GPU benchmarks. So sa thermals naman, I only got an average of 54 degrees Celsius inside the case with the side panel closed with a maximum naman of 65 degrees. So cooling wise, kayang-kaya i-handle ng thermal design nitong GPU. And in terms of fan noise, I can say na this card is silent kahit hindi na nakaset sa silent profile yung fans nito when in load. So, in my opinion, the out-of-the-box performance of this MSI RTX 4070 Gaming X Trio is good kahit hindi na mag-manual overclock since I think the factory overclock dito is already enough. And the cooling performance is impressive. Sa design, it's just like most of MSI's product design, gamery aesthetic with bold lines and edges, which is fine since this is a gaming card after all. And then between the RTX 4070 Ti and 4070, I think there's not much difference. So kung gusto nyong mas affordable, I think the RTX 4070 is one of the best options right now in 1440p gaming. And probably if you're coming from the RTX 3070, maybe upgrade kayo only if you want to experience the latest features like DLSS 3, the 3rd generation RT cores, and 4th generation Tensor cores, and the EV1 encoders, decoders, which would really help streamers and content creators. Otherwise, this is a good choice if you're coming from, let's say, the GTX 10 series or even RTX 20 series graphics card. Pricing for this card here in the Philippines will be at 44,100. And in case you're wondering, may mas mura pang variant si MSI which is the Ventus 3X 12G, priced at around 40,590. So there you have it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ako upload sa Xtian, so like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video.